श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रय विनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं। परमानन्दमाधवं। ॐ वाङ्मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्मयेधि वेदस्य माणिस्थः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अनेनाधीतेन अहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि हृदं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्माम् अवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्तिः शान्तिः। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्री कृष्ण गोविंद हरे मुरारे हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेवा जिह्वे पिबस्वामृतमेतदेव गोविंद दामोदर माधवेति। हे कृष्ण हे यादव हे सखेति। हे कृष्ण हे यादव हे सखेति। हे कृष्ण हे यादव हे सखेति। So we were at slok number 16 in the last session. Nasato vidyate bhavah, na bhavo vidyate satah, ubhayorapi drishtontah, tvanayos tattvadarshibhihi. We were in this shloka last time. There are a couple of things which I want to connect from the last shloka also. So you should see these three shlokas together, 14, 15 and 16. 14, Bhagwan spoke about subject and object relationship, that how our senses contact with the outside objects of the world. That's the first thing he spoke about. And he says that, Arjun, remember this in your mind, all these situations and things, objects, everything are temporary. They will come and go. So don't do tan titikshasva, forbear them, bear them well. But don't just bear them because it's, majburi hai, I have no other option, let's bear that. Bear it with intelligence that these things are temporary, they will come and go, none of them will remain permanent anywhere. Then he continued with the next shloka. He said, Yam hi na vyathayantyete purusham purusharshava samadukha sukham dhiram swamrtatvaya kalpate. the next level of forbearance is that, a man who not only forbears them well with a tapas mind of penance, that, it's all part of improving myself, it's only letting me grow above. This is going to increase the power of my intellect, this one, BMI intellect, that it is going to give knowledge to the intellect to bear these things, considering them as temporary in the whole world. So he said, now the next level of that is such a man will be sama dukkha sukham. He will be equanimous in the state of happiness also, equanimous in the state of sorrow also. Then he said, such a person I will call dhiram. Dhir means he is courageous. Dhimantam is the word Bhagwan Bhashyakar Shankaracharya has used here for dhiram. The one who has got an intellect of his own. He thinks through every situation. He doesn't just pass through situation. Now there is a difference. Many times when the situations comes to us, we just pass through them. Cribbing, crying, or you manage through them is a different thing. But we mostly pass through them. The point Bhagwan is telling here is that this man sees every situation first, uses his intellect. He doesn't let this and this manage and go through situations. आप थोड़ा सा इधर हो जाओ तो otherwise you won't be able to see. This is body and this is mind for some who are new here. This chart is for body, mind and intellect. We have three faculties which is और भी इधर हो जाओ. You will be उधर हो जाओ. You won't be able to see otherwise. So there are three faculties Gurudev Pujya Swami Chinmayanand ji is talking about. We all have them. That is body, mind and intellect. Now that's the point here. Body is something which is with us for a particular period of time in this life. After this life, body gets dropped here, but only body gets dropped. Mind and intellect traverse with us from us into the next life, into the next body. This keeps changing every now and then, but this will remain with us for a longer period of time. I'm using a word period of time for a purpose. This is also not going to be permanent. Till when this will remain with us? Till the time we realize and merge into this self. Because we are all, you all manage in such a way that you are able to see the chart, because the chart is very important. Okay? So till the time we merge into this thing, we have to keep moving on with this. Now the advantage and disadvantage I tell you. See, body may have million problems. It may have health issues, it may have another issue, it may have, अपंग हो सकता है, कुछ भी हो सकता है. There can be many things with the body. Many problems, many deficiencies in the body. But one consolation is that after this life, this body will not remain. It will go. And we will get a fresh body depending upon karma again. So that much consolation is there. But the biggest thing this chart reminds us is that you won't get a replacement of mind and intellect. You have to keep them till the time you are there in life. This life, next life, till whichever life it is. So, spirituality teaches you that increase the power of these two faculties. That's the purpose of our life. Spirituality is only about these two. It's not giving you that your body is going to become permanent or you will be free from sorrow and happiness. Nothing doing. Spirituality is not talking about that at all. Spirituality is telling you very clear, improvement is required here and here. And the thing is, usually what happens is, which I explained the last time, I'm explaining it again, this is supposed to be the most powerful faculty in each one of us. This is supposed to be secondary, which is, I'm just explaining you for the term because some people are new. See, B stands for body, M stands for mind, I stands for intellect. These are their functions. Body is perceiver of what? Of objects. So there is another term called business process outsource also comes as BPO. मेरे को देख के पता नहीं क्यों बार-बार याद आता है, because in Amex I have worked with many of them. But that's not what is meant here. It is actually body is a perceiver and it's perceiver of objects. Now let's come to mind, the second faculty within us. Mind is what? Feeler. Every feeling has to speak with mind only. Mind is the one which feels. And feeling of what is a feeler of what? Emotions. So all emotions are felt by the mind because the feeler is mind. Now let's come to intellect. Now this is a faculty which actually we think that our education system is supposed to build up. But I'm sorry, there is a big difference there. Education system actually only overloads this with things which are relevant for only a particular portion in life. But it doesn't teach this to manage this and this. That is the biggest part which is to be taught to the intellect. Intellect is what? Thinker. The faculty of thinking is of the intellect. And of what? Thoughts. Now, this is the chart of our everybody's system here. I'm leaving apart at animals because animals have got some faculties less because they have a mind but they don't have an intellect. Okay? So how, when species to species it changes. But the problem what happens is nobody taught us to, how to increase the power of intellect. Here Bhagwan says, who is the one who is dhira, dhimantam, who is the one I will call them intellectual, is that he doesn't just pass through his life. He travels through the life well thought after. The problem what happens today is that there are so many channels, not only on television, I'm talking about in the total world, so many channels which keeps feeding this and make sure that we carry their thought rather than thinking ourselves and creating our own thought. But spirituality says, this faculty, if you can manage very well, this faculty is supposed to manage this, and both of them together is supposed to manage this. But what currently happens is, this faculty, I will use the word for the time being, this faculty is not developed the way it is supposed to be developed. So what happens today? This faculty remains there. There is a thing called intellect. We can think, but we don't think. What happens? This starts ruling over mind. When this starts ruling over, intellect starts to swing in the way the mind swings its whole thing. And this has got a potential, it's got its problem actually, that it will always be looking up to this. And then what happens? Our whole life, this follows this, and this ends up only managing this. And we are only managing one portion of our whole life. Because this body will be dropped here, right? And we don't know which body we will go in the next life. What karmas we have done, we don't know. If we have done good karmas, maybe we get a human body, but we don't know. But the only thing we have to remember is that human body is the only body where you can work on this. Animal body is a bhog body. It's a pre-programmed. I used the word last time. They are all pre-programmed to function in a particular way. They are only to exhaust their vasanas. Some people, I'm just giving you an example, for the sake of example I'm giving you. Some people in human life itself, I'm just giving you for an example, don't take it verbatim, but I'm saying, some people may have developed up something in this life that they are hardcore non-veg. I'm just giving you an example. Just for an example's sake, they are hardcore non-veg, their day cannot run without non-veg. Now, and they don't have enough karma to get into a human body. Go and become a carnivorous animal in life. Eat as much non-veg as you want. Go. Because you have chosen your next life. This vasana, along with your fruits of action, will define your next body. That is why spirituality keeps telling you, do some good, do some punya. Punya is for you who? Not for the people you are helping. Punya is for yourself. Because that's a deposit in your own account, which you are going to encash in some other life from here. Every bank account, other bank accounts will remain here only. None of them will be useful in any life. You can't go and buy any life, no, not even heaven, not even, adjusting somewhere here and there. Nothing works. This currency only doesn't work there. But there is another currency which you can earn in this life, which is possible only in human life. For that, what you need to do, you need to develop this There need to be a thought process that every action is well thought after. Bhagavan uses the word here. This man, knowing that these situations will come and pass through, what he does here, he doesn't waste his whole energy in just managing this. Now, tie the 14th shloka, Matra Sparshastu, to this. Shita Ushna, which means heat and cold, is for who? For the body. Right? Then the next level he talks about Sukha Dukkha is for who? Both. Sukha Dukkha is for mind also. Emotion, no? He only feels the Sukha and Dukkha. But his Sukha and Dukkha are what? Some are driven from here, some are his own made, some are according to the world he has created, some will come from them. But what happens to this? This faculty remains redundant because it was never developed in the way it needs to be developed. Spirituality actually develops this faculty. It's always like this. I told you in one of the class, the 2 classes before I told you, Gurudev used one word. I am not going to make you free from, Sukha and Dukkha. That will keep coming and going. It is a rule of the whole land. It is the way the world is made. But once you leave the class, I'll all make you intellectual thinkers that you can manage all those things which are felt by this and felt by this, perceived by this. That's the reason why spirituality is here. Bhagavan uses the word here. He puts the next level here. The one who can manage his equipoise, equanimity in both the situation of sorrow and happiness. He saha amritatvaya kalpate. He is the one who is fit for realization. Now, the reason I came back here, now the word Amritattva needs to be explained. So Bhagavan only explained the Amritattva in the 16th shloka when he uses the word Na asataha vidyate bhavaha, Na abhavaha vidyate sataha. He uses the word Amritattva is what? Amritattva is the consciousness, the Sat which he is talking about, the real, the final truth, the Paramarthik Satya. We use the word. 2 तरीके के सत्य होते हैं, पारमार्थिक सत्य और व्यवहारिक सत्य. One is called transactional reality, one is called supreme reality. What is transactional reality now? Very good. This body is a transactional reality. How long is the transaction? From birth to death. After that, what happens? It goes. It gets dropped. The transaction is over, his work is over, it's gone. Mind and intellect, their transaction will be over only when they realize. So Bhagavan uses the word Amrit Tattva. To explain Amrit Tattva, Bhagavan used the next shloka that Na asataha vidyate bhavaha, Na abhavaha vidyate sataha. That which is real, it can never be a point in time when that real, the truth, the final truth is non-existent. And that which is unreal, there can never be a point in time when it is existent. Now that's the confusion where we left last time. I was trying to explain you, and I told you this shloka is going to take time because it's a very, very deep, profound shloka. But let me tell you, first let me pick up the word Amritattva. There are 3 ways Amritattva is explained actually. You should know all those things because it's a spiritual class and my purpose is to just explain you whatever comes in the way. First Amritattva we talk about is, you must have heard in our Purana that there was a Samudra Manthan which happened. It's a very popular story. And then it's a very thing that, then Bhagwan Dhanvantari came with something called an Amrut Kalash. There are many ways you should understand this. These are portions in Bhagavad also, but I'll pick up the way I need to explain you. So one Amritattva is there, that Amrut Kalash which he came with. Then there was a fight between demons and the Devtas, the Rakshas and Devtas, that who will take the Amritattva. And then Bhagwan Vishnu played the trick and gave the Amrit Kalash to Devtas. That's the story. This story many of us have heard. But you need to know what is Amritattva there. What is Amritattva here? What is Amritattva we otherwise know? So that Amritattva which Devtas got, that has got 3 functions. It will keep their body without catching old age for a long period of time. That's the first purpose of that Amrit Kalash. Second, till the time they are alive, it will keep them free of diseases. That's the second thing which happens in that Amritattva. The third thing, their lifespan becomes much longer. That's the purpose of that Amrit Kalash which Bhagwan Dhanvantari came with. Okay? So that's one Amrit Kalash which came and the Devtas got it. They lived for a longer period of time. Another thing which that Amrit Kalash does was that it controls the thing, it satisfies a thirst and hunger in you so that you can live with little amount of food for a long period of time. Actually, I'll tell you one thing very honestly, okay? Food is a very critical portion and which I do not know how we have now understood that. They say one word here, if you eat food like medicine, you don't have to eat medicine like food at a later point in time. It's a very simple thing I'm talking about. I'm explaining you Amritatva only from here. Okay, so, but the thing is, you talk about, many of the things which are happening around the world. Everyone says food is an issue, junk food is an issue, that is an issue. But are we able to control that secondary subject? Because we haven't understood the gravity of the whole thing. But anyway, Bhagwan says here that Amritattva which Devtas got, they also satisfies their thirst and hunger for a longer period of time. So they can survive on less food also, even though they have abundant things supply in heaven. That's the first thing. Second Amritattva which we talk about is of this world. That Amritattva is given by something which is called moon, Chandrama. All the plants and the whole Vanaspati Jagat, the plant world, whatever properties, medicinal properties is come into the plants, they come from moon. That's why moon has got another name called Sudhanshu. Whatever moon rays touch, they say it spreads some portion of Amritattva into that. There are some festivals where they use in the old times. Aajkal to pollution bahut hai, so I don't know what to do. They used to keep kheer open on the terrace and they used to consume it the next day. Because remember, Sharad Purnima, yes. So जो भी अमृतत्व आपको पृथ्वी पर उपलब्ध है, whatever is available on the earth, that अमृतत्व comes from moon. So that's why its name is called Sudhanshu. वो भी एक अमृतत्व है. So that's on the transactional world. So they say moon has got that potential. It goes from Purnima to Amavas to Purnima. In the varying degrees, it spreads the Amritatva into the earth. It takes the rays from the sun, generates that and spreads it across the world. So that's another Amritatva I'm talking about. But actual Amritatva, what Bhagwan is talking about here is your supreme consciousness, your own self, which is your Atma, what they call the word. Why that is Amritatva? Because once you have known it, there are three things there. Huh? You have to first know it, you have to understand it, you have to be firm in it, and then you have to realize it. There are 4 portions in the whole thing. Once you realize that self, the final Amritatva is that you will be free from birth and death. That is the Amritatva Bhagwan is talking about here. Then why did I explain you all 3? Because when we use the word, you should know all 3 portions because that's how it is explained. Anyway, so Bhagwan says, to explain that Amritatva, that what is real Amritatva, Bhagwan explains the nature of the self, Atma, called Sat and Asat. He explains in that. Arjun, remember one thing, there is only one Sat. That Sat remains existent in all periods of time. 3 periods of time he is talking about. Okay? 3 periods is what? Past, present and future. What happens to the body? Body was not there in the past, is there in the present, will not be there in the future. So it doesn't fit to the definition of Sat. Okay? So usko actually Sanskrit में the word we use is Trikale Abhaditvam Satyam. That which cannot be negated in 3 periods of time is that which qualifies for becoming Sat. Bhagwan uses very straightforward word here. Arjun, remember one thing. For the real, there is no non-existence. And for the unreal, there is no existence. Full stop. And Bhagwan may have moved on. But the question which arises is that when we listen to this, it creates a question which I posed in the last class also. If that is the definition, my body qualifies to become Asat, but my body is existent today. How can you say it is non-existent? So where do we fit our body there? Yes, that's true. body is qualifying under the category of asat. But Bhagwan Shankaracharya, to explain us, used one word called mithya or pratibhasik sat is the word we use. Pratibhasik means it's a temporary transactional reality. और इसको एक और word I'll use, vyavaharik sat, transactional reality. So sat has also many things. Paramarthik sat, vyavaharik sat or asat. There are three definitions here. Okay? Body, mind and intellect, they all qualify under the category of vyavaharik sat or pratibhasik sat. They are right now seen. I'll give you one example which Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayanand ji gave. Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayanand ji was giving a lecture somewhere and he said, you would come to know that Swami Chinmayanand is married and he had 11 kids and he's poor man suffering because he has no job and 11 kids. So he said, Swamiji is sitting down and suffering. Suddenly somebody woke you up. What happened after that? After you woke up from the sleep, there is no Swami Chinmayanand ji married, there is no 11 kid, there is no suffering. In the same way, when you have suffering in the dream, you wake up and the suffering immediately is washed off. In the same way, when you wake up from this reality, this transactional reality into the ultimate reality, all the suffering of yours, mind, intellect, everything is gone in one go, is washed away. That is what is called Amrit Tattva, what Bhagwan explained in the previous shloka. It's the Amrit Tattva he is talking about. He says one word here, Ubhayoho api drishtvantaha. Those people who see these final truth in actual reality, the difference between Sat and Asat so clearly. Antaha, the word he uses here is Antaha. Now, the word Antaha comes many places. Vedantaha. Vedanta means it's not the end of Veda. Antaha means the final conclusion of whatever is said. Some people say, now listen, I am wrapping up my point and this is the last time I have to say. No more saying after this. You want to understand, don't understand, that's your problem. But this is the final thing. That final antaha, that those people who have seen this reality, the difference, and they've understood Sat well, they've understood Asat well, those people are the one who I will call Tattvadarshi. They are the people who have seen the final truth. Seen final truth means what? They have understood the final truth, they have become firm in that final truth, and they have started living in that final truth. Now, bringing back to that point, he used in the 14th shloka matra sparshaha. Everything in this world, whether heat, cold or whatever you call it, is nothing but matra only. They are only some measurement which comes and goes. They are coming and going. Where will they come? They will also come like body in the category of asat. Okay? Since they are asat, now why Bhagwan is bringing to this point that asat, 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 asat and all? Why he is saying that, we may feel that things may come and go, but feeling that much is not enough. Because we know that it will come and go, it is temporary. Since it comes and goes, we can feel now and let it go afterwards. But that will be only at the temporary level. At the final level, you have given reality to that thing. So Bhagwan says, give a non-reality to that fact. Consider Shita, Ushna, everything as asat. They are not there. They are not there, but you are feeling it. You are feeling it because you have considered yourself as body. The moment you grow up, I want to ask you a question. मन को गर्मी लगती है? Think over it, huh?
मन को लगती है तभी बॉडी को लगती है.
मन को गर्मी लगती नहीं है. See, mind is not a gross object to feel the heat and cold. It is feeling the heat and cold from who? For who? Body. Because it has identified itself to be the body. All the things which the body goes through, mind feels as its own. I'll give you one example. The people who we feel very much, for some people, their happiness, their sorrow, don't we all feel? Why? Why? It's not your sorrow directly, but you feel because of your identification with them. The more you identify with things, more their feelings will become your feeling. Some people say, can't you feel my pain? They say that at personal level they talk about it. No, how can I feel your pain? It's in your thing. That means you don't identify with me. You are not my true friend. They say that also. See, the amount and the gravity of your feeling depends on the gravity of your identification. The less identified you are, the less you will feel. I'm not saying become indifferent. That's not what I meant. I'm telling you that understand all this to be unreal and pass through them. Why pass through them? Pass through them in such a way that bear them with a mind that they will be remaining temporary, they will be dropped after a point in time. Every time you bear, why Bhagavan is saying tam titikshasva, every time you bear, there is one quality which you are adding. Every time you bear, you are giving more and more power to your intellect. Intellectual power comes from where? It won't come from a gym, it won't come from exercise, it won't come from anything. I'm surprised.
How do you feel less identified?
Very good point. I'll come to that point. How do you feel less identified? See, I see when I see around the world, I see that there are so many gyms which have opened. There are so many health centers which have opened. They are all talking about maintaining this. A temporal reality they are teaching you to maintain, and the more you work towards maintaining this, they don't understand. Inherently, you are more and more identifying with this. They are making you more identified. But is there a mental gym for you? Is there an intellectual gym? That which is supposed to be there with us, not only in this life, in many lives to come, there are many people, there are some people who are doing it also. Meditation and other things are there for that. But I'm saying, but there is no focus on this at this point in time. That gym is growing in every nook and corner. I'm telling you honestly, this is the truth. But this one, which is supposed to manage this and this, there is nobody teaching you. That gym is the class. What is the push-up here? What is the... That's because identification is increasing. See, the thing with body is, the more focus and attention you give it to it. I'm not saying ignore it. Remember one word, it is the tool to go through this life. You have to maintain it. You have to manage it. But don't inadvertently waste your whole energy on it. That's the point I'm saying. That's the point I'm saying. Don't give entire energy to that. Because what energy is limited with you. You have only so much of energy during your day to work. You can choose to spend the whole here. You can choose to spend some here, more here, and more here. You have to choose that or make the choice where you will spend your energy. Bhagavan is saying through these shlokas, these situations, Shita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha, doesn't require all of your energy to be wasted. Conserve some for these ones. Because if you titikshasva, forbear them, you are giving power to this. Now for forbearance also, there are 3 stages which you need to understand. There are 3 things we have to classify between. One is necessity, another is comfort, and the third one is luxury. Okay? There is no common definition of these 3 for everyone. Okay? So for some people, what is comfort may be necessity for some other people. There is no clear definition, but it is all your personal definition. But remember, for your mind, you have to keep making choices between these 3 in your life. What is necessity? You must spend energy on it. What is comfort? It's okay. It's good to have. But you make it too much choosy about those things, when you don't have that, it will waste a lot of your time and energy. brooding why it's not there, why it's not there. Luxury is a third thing altogether. So you have to choose your necessity, you have to choose your comfort, you have to choose your luxury. I'm not saying these three are bad. If you have an ability, run through all three of them. But make that distinction in your intellect that this is just luxury, this is comfort, this is necessity. And if you make that clear classification in your intellect, the intellect will spend your energy in the same way. Which is necessity, it will spend time. That which is comfort, it may not spend that much of time. That which is luxury, it's there, it doesn't matter. Sometimes it comes, sometimes it goes, doesn't matter. So Bhagavan says, it's your choice how you have to spend your energy. The thing is, there is a purpose why mind is kept in between. It is so naughty and fickle, mind. It always wants something to run after. Now, naturally, mind will never run after intellectual things. That's why I am telling you, there may be satsang at many places. Call people. Many may not come. Many may not get interested also. Why? Their focus is not there here. The thing is, this needs effort. But they don't understand. They think that, many people think what? Life is this much. After death, it's gone. Everything is over. There is one philosophy called Charvak philosophy. Well, I'll tell you the philosophy. Whole consumerism is built on that philosophy. I'll tell you what Charvak philosophy means. Charvak philosophy says, Rinam kritva ghritam pibet bhasmi bhutasya sharirasya punaragamanam kutaha. Take loan, enjoy your life. Whole consumerism is built on that platform, by the way. Take loan and enjoy your life. Once this body is become bhasma means is become, ashes, there is no coming back at all. Is that the understanding of life? Then I'm sorry, many questions remain unanswered. Because that cannot be how the life is. We feel that many things are coming from somewhere else. So, those people, they end up ignoring this completely. For them, education is the only intellect building time. Which is what? 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, 20 years of your time. Rest of the time, it's only spent on this. You don't understand. This needs concentrated effort, step by step, step by step. It won't come overnight at all. Somebody has to train to spend time on this. That's what this session is going to do. He says, Tvanayoho Tattvadarshibhi. Those people who can see the difference between these two clearly and they understand that this sharir is only a transactional reality. Bhagavan Shankaracharya used one word, mithya. Mithya means false. What this is there till the time it is there. Like dream, when you are in dream, you cannot know that the dream is unreal. You will transact, you will feel, you will have the pain, you will have the happiness. But once you wake up, you will laugh at yourself. I don't know what I was doing. What was that going on? But only when you wake up. Till the time you wake up, for you at this point in time, this is a transactional reality. You have to give time to it because this is your tool to grow above. इसके थ्रू ही तो आगे बढ़ना है. ये गया तो आगे कैसे बढ़ोगे? जानवर शरीर में तो आगे बढ़ा जा नहीं सकता. Because that life is gone. So, whatever time is there, build up piece by piece for this so that it can grow above. What it needs to do, how does it grow above? What happens is, this starts, rather than giving focus on this all the time, this starts looking up here. Okay? It starts as, defocusing from this too much. It starts looking up here. When this starts looking up here, now this is the point where it comes. Its energy also starts flowing to this. That's another portion of power this starts gaining. When this becomes powerful, this loses the ability to keep this in sway. This automatically starts coming under the control of intellect. When this comes under control, this is automatically controlled. That's the point I was wanting to make from this particular session. So he says, know the real and unreal. I'm not going into the detail too much here because, some other time I'll pick it up, because Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji has given a very good definition of how Asat and Asat has been defined and segregated. Sat, Asat, when you talk about in this whole world, I gave you 3 things about cause and effect last time. What is that I gave? Cause and effect? Anyone? You remember what I told about cause and effect? There are 3 things I told about the cause and effect. And sorry, go ahead.
Without the cause, the effect cannot.
Yes. First point. Yes. Good. See, cause and effect you have to understand in this way. Effect has got no existence without the cause. That's the first point. Okay? Effect has got no existence without the cause. Second point is, effect is nothing but cause itself in a different form. And the example I gave was wave and ocean. Now remember? Wave and ocean.
Yes.
Golden.
Wave is what? Effect. Ocean is the cause. Actually, wave is not a new thing. Wave is the ocean water itself in a different form. Right? So there is no different reality of wave and ocean. They are the same thing. So effect has got cause. Effect is nothing but cause in a different form. If you take out cause from the effect, effect ceases to exist. These are the 3 points I gave last time. Now take it to Sat. Because I am telling you a complex point. Sat is the existence principle in us. Existence principle means? What do you call existence principle? There are 3 things which keep with us every day in and day out. In this life also, after this life also, it will be there. What? Existence, consciousness and bliss. We call in Sanskrit, Upanishad language, Sat, Chit and Anand. Satchidanand. So that's why the shloka I was telling you in the beginning, Satchidananda Rupaya Vishwotpatyadi Hetave Tapatraya Vinashaya Shri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha. Shri Krishna is what? Satchit Anand only in a form. That's it. That is what the shloka of Bhagavad is. It's from Srimad Bhagavad. It's the Mangala Charana of Srimad Bhagavad. So what is Sat, Chit and Anand? Now let me just pick that up now to explain you Sat here. What Bhagavan is calling Sat is the existence principle. Now for example, this watch is lying on the table. What did I use the word? Watch is. That isness of the watch is the existence. Where did this existence come from? From me, because I am saying it. Watch is borrowing its existence from who? Me. When I am not here, my watch will also not be here. Okay? In this world, existence is coming from all of you to the objects. Objects doesn't have an independent existence. You are there, your object is there. Now let me just tell you in another way. So for this life I'm talking about. You are there, your family is there. When you are not there, oh, that's the point. Hold that. This is a point which came into debate the other day. So what are you talking about? When I am not there, my family won't be there. Wait, I'm just coming to that point. When I am not there, my family is not going to be there.
Family will be there, but it won't be there for me.
Yes. So now just step back a little bit. Who said this word, my family? You said, no? Yeah. So technically, if you said my family, if I take you out of the picture, whose family? You are not there, so there is no family. That is the point I am trying to make. This is why I said it's a little complex subject, but you just pick it up. Even if you don't understand, just hear it and go. Doesn't matter. As we move on, we will clarify this is going ahead also. This whole existence, consciousness, bliss. Now, see, the existence, consciousness, bliss is everywhere. Bhagavan used here, na asato vidyate bhava. He said there is never a point in time when Sat is not there. So he excluded 2 points. There are 2 points I'm telling you here. There are two kind of non-existence. One is called prag abhav and another is called pradhvans abhav. Wait, I'm telling you. It's a little complex word, but just listen to it very carefully. Prag abhav means, let me just talk about the body. Okay, body, before it came into existence, this was not there. Prag means before its birth, it was non-existent. Pradhvans abhav means once it dies, it will again be not there. So this body can never qualify as Sat. Why? It has got Prag abhav also, it has got Pradhvans abhav also. So it's not going to be there in the 3 periods of time. Sat can be called only that thing which doesn't have Prag abhav and Pradhvans abhav. Present, I'm not talking about. Third one, body is in present. But before the birth of this body, it was not there. After the death also, it won't be there. 2 periods of time, it is not there. Only 1 period of time, which is the present, it is there. But Sat is that which continues to remain even during, there is no Prag abhav, there is no Pradhvans abhav also. That one which qualifies, doesn't have both these, is non-existence, they only qualify for Sat. That existence principle, even when we all are not there, when will be that time? Pralaya. There is a point I'm talking, there is a reason I'm using such words. Just mind me that I'm using such words. One, there are different kinds of pralaya. There is called Nitya pralaya, there is called Naimittik pralaya, there is called, Atyantik pralaya. There are 3 pralayas. What is Nitya pralaya? Nitya pralaya is your deep sleep every day. You are going into pralaya every day. Every day. Your deep sleep is Nitya pralaya, which happens every day. Every day when you go to sleep, this whole world becomes unmanifest. There is a reason I'm using word. The whole world becomes unmanifest. Where is your family in your deep sleep?
That's why you say sleeping as in dead to the world.
Yes, that's true. Where is your family in the deep sleep? But when you get up, you say, I had a very good sleep, If you got a good sleep, I'm not discounting that fact. I had a very good, very peaceful sleep. That means there can be peace, there can be happiness without family and the world also. That is what I was trying to explain here. Okay? So that's called Nitya Pralaya. Nitya Pralaya is that. Naimittik Pralaya. For us, Naimittik Pralaya is our death. Death of the body. Death of the body is Naimittik Pralaya. Because of some nimitta, because of some reason, it ceased to exist in this life. That's called Naimittik Pralaya. Naimittik Pralaya for the world is, like for example, the flooding happened in Kedarnath. So many people lost life. It's Naimittik Pralaya. Turkey, so many people died because of earthquake. Naimittik Pralaya. They are all Pralaya only. But they are Naimittik. They come out of a Nimitta. Nimitta means because of some certain cause hidden within the whole Prakriti. Prakriti means the whole, this whole nature. So it's called Naimittik Pralaya. Then it's called...
Natural death
It's also Nimitta. Somebody may die in accident. Somebody may die of heart attack. There is a reason behind it. So it's a Nimitta. It's Nimitta. That's why we will call it Naimittik Pralaya. You can put it in Naimittik Pralaya. You can put it in Nitya Pralaya also. But Nitya is not happening. We are not dying and being born every day. So I will not put it under Nitya Pralaya. Naimittik only will put it. So that's Naimittik Pralaya. The third Pralaya is called Atyantik Pralaya. Atyantik Pralaya is when Brahmaji's time ends. This whole world, whosoever may be, wherever, doesn't matter. This whole world will get submerged into water. It's called causal waters. So it is so scientific, the whole Vedanta. I'm telling you, without Vedanta, even science cannot stand. What are you talking about? Whole world, every creation comes from water only, by the way. Even in a mother's womb, child comes from water only, by the way. You just see everything is from water only. What is so difficult to understand? The whole Prakriti goes under Atyantik Pralaya. And they say, for example, this Prakriti was there in existence for 5 lakh years. It will remain in the causal waters for 10 lakh years, double the time. And the whole thing, everything will get cleansed up. And suddenly the earth will rise and the creation will come back. Remember, those jivas who got merged here, they don't need to come back. They are already realized. But those who did not, there, after a long period of deep sleep or whichever sleep you call it, Atyantik Pralay, they have to come back based on their karmas back here. Last class I was talking to you about that. Vedanta has just shunned off the Darwin theory. Darwin theory says nothing was there, from nothingness creation came. I'm sorry, which means what? Sat came from Asat. It's not possible. Sat can never come from Asat. Asat can never come to reality. Those are the points which need to be explained in this shloka. So the Darwin theory is completely knocked out. See, you see the Puranic Kathas, how our Vedanta explain. Vedanta says from Vishnuji's Nabhi, Kamal came, and in that Kamal, not BJP wala Kamal, it's like lotus. Let me Kamal bolte hi, it becomes political after a while. Anyway, that's not what I meant. And that, from his Nabi, from his navel, there is a lotus which came up. On that lotus, Brahmaji was born. Brahmaji is the first Jiva. He was born. Remember, Vishnuji doesn't come under the category of born. It's not going to go. Brahmaji is the first Jiva according to Vedanta. And Brahmaji, what he did? He did not create this whole creation first. He created human first. It's very simple. Humans only created the remaining things afterwards. Brahmaji's his way of making it manifest is this. He created the conscious beings first, in the same way then animals, then plants, and then like that. Then he had to give a world for people to live. There can never be a point in time when Sat can come from Asat. In Darwin's theory, nothing was there. From nothingness, human life or consciousness started. It cannot be possible. It's not possible at all. Vedanta says very clearly, things here will go from manifest to unmanifest, unmanifest to manifest, manifest to unmanifest, then manifest to unmanifest. That's the cycle which will go. Till when you will go from manifest to unmanifest, unmanifest to manifest, till the time one has realized here. When one realizes here and merges with this self, he becomes the self of all. He doesn't have a Pragabhav also, he doesn't have a Pradvansabhav also. I am telling you for explanation perspective. Such a realized soul, what happens? Along with the body, this mind and intellect also, along with senses, becomes ashes in the pyre of fire. In the funeral pyre. For us who have not realized, this body is burned in the funeral pyre, mind and intellect leaves the body and goes and searches for the another body. For a Jivan Mukta Mahatma, this body, along with mind, along with intellect, becomes ashes here. Why? Because he has become free from this and he has become this. That is called realization. Doesn't. There is no rebirth is for mind and intellect. Mind it, huh? Rebirth is for who? Mind and intellect along with vasanas. There is no rebirth for self. Since he becomes the self of all, he travels and becomes one with all of us. That's why when we talk about Guru, we say Guru attained Samadhi. Samadhi means what? He did not go for another birth. He became one with the self here. Isliye that's why we use the word Brahmaleen. Brahmaleen Swami Chinmayanandji. Brahmaleen Swami Subodhanandji. Brahmaleen matlab he's become one with Brahman. And remember, I'm giving you 2 shlokas from Upanishad. Chandogya Upanishad says, Tarati Shokam Atmavit. The one who has experienced the oneness with the self, he crosses through, he swims through all his shoka and moha, all his sorrow and delusion in life. He's become free, living here itself. That state is accepted only in Vedanta. In Vedanta, other philosophies miss that point. Vedanta says you can be free while living also, which is what is called Jivan Mukta Avastha. Jivit rehte hue mukt hona. You just imagine the state of that man, and who has realized his self, oneness with the self, staying here, he while transacting through the world, he is completely free. He experiences oneness while living in this body. There are many examples.
The detached mind.
Completely. He keeps His mind acts. Does it feel cold? And whenever mind feel colds, he is sitting there as an observer, watches the mind jumping around and feeling the heat and cold, doing this, switching on the fan, switching AC and all those things. He sees that, but he knows he is different from it. That is what is called Jivan Muktavastha, which Bhagavan says Amritatva in the previous shloka. That's how you have to understand the whole concept.
We need to observe.
There is something called, becoming an observer. So, how will you become an observer? For that, your intellect needs to be strong. Many a times, what observer? We keep dancing with it the whole day. I'm gone. I am fed up. I'm depressed and this and that. We keep dancing with this. Where does our intellect watch this?
Suppose if we dance with the mind, which we all do, and at the same time, if one has that awareness, oh, I'm dancing with the mind right now.
That doesn't matter.
That's
It's very good.
interesting.
It's a good start. It's a good start. Yes, definitely. It is.
Yeah, that's
You will slowly, gradually gain more power because intellect has not got that power right now to just completely disintegrate from this. So it will keep dancing, but it will know I'm dancing. You see, again it came. So you have to keep, that's called drishta bhav. In Vedanta we call it drishta bhav. Be an observer. You can practice being an observer in many situations using your intellect. Even in your day-to-day life also you can become an observer. Meditation, one second. Meditation usually, actually the actual result of meditation is that you can become an observer in your life for your mind and body.
Observing also, I have observed this, while observing also, when you're playing with your intellect and the mind, still the sadness
Feels. It will, yes, that's true. There is a word which is, you see what a cool personality. Such a difficult situation is not perturbed at all. You will see such people here who have worked on this. The purpose of human life is to develop this, to attain this, become free from this, and completely free from this. Full stop. Another shloka I'll give you. That one I gave you, Tarati Shokam Atmavid from Chandogya Upanishad. Ishavasya Upanishad says, Tasya ko mohaha ko shokaha ekatvam anupashyati. The one who sees oneness with everyone, for him what moha and what shoka. He can never get deluded. He will never have sorrow. He is attached because he has seen oneness. See, now remember, he sees oneness with everyone. It's not that he or she becomes indifferent. He or she will help you manage through your feeling much better than people who are attached to us. Because he is free from attachment to one single unit or people, he is attached to everyone. Because he is attached to everyone, he will end up helping everyone, but his actual attachment is here. That is what spirituality's final goal is supposed to be. That is where spirituality wants you to reach. That is what is called God principle. The problem is you can call that God principle Krishna, Rama, Devi, whichever way. But ultimate objective is very clear. First you have to tan titikshasva, forbear the things which keep coming and going in life. Because remember, they are all situations. Actually, the word situation in English doesn't come out so well. In Sanskrit we use the word paristhiti. It's actually very well explained. I'll tell you what paristhiti means. Paritah sthiti, that which is circled around you, which is present around you. What happens? We fall into paristhiti. We fall into situation. If we are into the situation, then somebody else needs to help to get out of the situation. If you are an observer of your situation and this is on, I'll use the word on especially here. If this is on all the time, you don't worry. You will keep watching situations also. I'll tell you one thing very honestly. There are people whose intellectual faculty is so much switched on, that they have got Gyan in Swapna also. Their Guru has appeared them in Swapna and has given knowledge.
Einstein and all these.
Yeah. Einstein also, yeah, you can say that. That I will not call, I will not call. I'll use the word. Thank you for reminding me, Einstein. Here, I was about to say one thing there. In the this whole creation is called Einsteinian world of time and space. This whole creation, the way we explain science, na. But remember, this whole Einsteinian world of time and space is in a state of flux. Flux means it keeps changing every now and then. See, the beauty of Sanskrit, I'll tell you, they have used one word for the world called Jagat. You've heard the word Jagat? Some people have kept their name also Jagat. That's a different thing. But I will not come to that. They don't become Jagat. But the thing is Jagat, when you hear the word, na, it comes from three words. Jayati, Gacchati, Tishtati. So beautifully explained. Jayati means it comes. Gacchati means it will go. Tishtati means it stays. So all the three things have been covered in one word itself. I don't know what our rishis were, how they have created and coined the words. When I use the word world, I don't know the etymology where it came from, the word world. But Jagat, when you say, when you keep remembering these words, now you know for fact that when you call Jagat, this is my Jagat, this is my Sansar, or whatever you call it. Sansar also I'll explain you. Jagat means we should know for fact it has come, it will stay, it will go. That thing we have to remember. And then another word I'll use, Sansar.
Satya or Asatya?
It is Asat.
Asat.
Asat. Mithya. Jayate, Gacchati, Tishtati, so Asat ho gaya na? Because it has got Prag Abhav and Pradhvan Svabhav. I'll use this word again and again so it gets into your mind. Prag Abhav, Pradhvan Svabhav. This is a term which you should know. Actually, Vedant students ko pata bhi hona chahiye. So, you should measure it this way. If there is something which has got Prag Abhav and Pradhvan Svabhav, it is definitely qualified as Asat. Jagat also will qualify as Asat because it has come. Before it came, it was not there. Then Gacchati, it will go. So Pradhvan Svabhav ho gaya. Tishtati, in between, it will stay. Now another word is called Sansar. See how the beauty of Sanskrit. Samyak Sarati, which keeps moving slowly. Keeps moving, it keeps slipping from your hands. Every day. Every day it's going out of your hand. Every day. You may try whatever to hold on to it, but you cannot hold on to it permanently. It's called Samyak Sarati. जो धीरे धीरे करके सरक रहा है. It's moving. It keeps changing. These are the kind of words which has come here. So Bhagavan says, Arjun, what is Bhagavan expecting from Arjun? Arjun, you also leave aside these shoka and moha. Start placing your intellect where Tattvadarshi he mentioned here, place their mind on. Look at these as Asat and know that Sat to be God and place yourself and do your duty. That's the point, huh? He's not saying just because world is Asat, run away. Don't do your duty at all. No. He's saying do your duty. Next shloka he'll say, Tasmat yudhyasva bharata. Stand up and fight. Why? If this whole world is Asat, now I'll tell you another beauty. If this whole world is Asat, act well. It's just an acting which is required from you. Do your role well. All of us can win Oscars, and we don't need Deepika to give it to us, by the way. We all can win Oscars. That's how you have to act well here, knowing the truth. Yes, you were saying something. So that's the point which Vedanta is trying to teach you. Tattvadarshi are those people who have seen the final truth. They have experienced the final truth. They know everything. Oh, if now summers are going to come, today it rained, by the way. Summers are going to come, it will not stay permanently, it will go. Don't brood over them. Don't give it too much power to dance on you. The more you give attention, more those objects get power to trouble you. You give the power. Remember, for everything. You are the one who are giving the power. Because existence comes from you.
Even people.
Definitely, that's true. We give power. And then we say they troubled us. You only gave the power. You should have given it carefully. Or you should have understood by giving them. So remember, you are the one who are the holders of your power. Don't give it unnecessarily without using intellect to anyone and everyone to dance over your head. That's the point Bhagwan is saying here. Yeah, let me just finish the class then.
This is the answer to identification also.
Yes, identification also. How do you not identify? You have to understand two things. The 2 point Bhagwan says, it will come and go. Agama apainaha. And that's one thing you said. He said sama dukkha sukham because they are all asat. There are 2 points, 2 categories. Definitely. That's true. सब कुछ ही असत में आ गया. अगर असत ही है, the thing is, I tell you, असत आपको बार बार बोलना पड़ेगा. इसलिए भगवान ने सिर्फ 2 ही क्लासिफिकेशन दी, सत और असत. क्योंकि पता क्या है, टेम्पोरल रियलिटी तो भगवान शंकराचार्य जी ने समझाई है हम लोगों को समझाने के लिए, वरना वी विल ऑल शट द बुक एंड गो, क्या भगवान बोल रहे हैं, आई डोंट नो व्हाट इज टॉकिंग अबाउट, आवर बॉडी आल्सो इट्स नॉट एक्सप्लेन्ड. अर्जुन अंडरस्टूड इट वेरी वेल, बट फॉर अस भगवान शंकराचार्य गिव वन इन बिटवीन स्टेटमेंट. कंसिडर इस मिथ्या राइट नाउ, बट मिथ्या की भी डेफिनेशन है, अविद्यमानत्वे सति भासमानत्वम मिथ्या. आई विल यूज द वर्ड, अब मैं बोल ही दिया तो बोल ही देता हूं. इवन दो इट इज नॉन एग्जिस्टेंट, but it is projecting right now. But remember, the first point is it is non-existent. It is asat. He said the word mithya ke liye avidyamanatve sati bhasamanatvam. Even though it is not there, but it is being projected. The way example I gave in the last class was mriga marichika. Mriga marichika matlab desert mirage. Bhavna ji gave that example last time, I think. I only picked it up from there. So apparently, mriga marichika, even though it is non-existent, but it will show you till the time you understand it is not there. Till the time you give asat buddhi, you may have to keep running after thinking it's water. You have to give sat and asat buddhi. You have given sat buddhi, you have to give asat buddhi. That's why Bhagwan used very clearly here, there are only 2 classifications, sat, asat. You have to understand everything else apart from the consciousness is asat. If that is asat, you have to only bear through the time. They will come and go. None of them will remain permanent.
But why did he make the world then?
He didn't make the world. That's a different question. I'll come to that point.
He's enjoying watching us.
Kayena vacha manasendriyarva buddhyatmana va prakrite svabhavat karomi adyat sakalam parasmai narayanaeti samarpayami Sriman Narayanayeti samarpayami. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Tat Sat.